Out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
Heck of a broken tackle and able to work this down near the 23. 69 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. Only needing 2 yards on second down. Throwing Jones. They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Now Jones throwing on first down. Touchdown, Giants! A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Giants lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. From his end zone, here comes Agnew. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. To this point, the results have not been good. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers.
And that's obviously something that can't continue, but to go a little bit deeper on that one, I would think about some play calls now, not even necessarily to my best player, but to someone I can trust with the ball. Try and get things settled down a little bit.
Here's 2nd and a yard. A handoff for Etienne.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On first down, back to Etienne. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. And now we'll get a timeout. Looks like we've got a Jaguar in some discomfort down there on the field. While he gets attended to, we'll step aside. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Here's Lawrence to throw. This is caught by Williams. Past the 45 before being tackled.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. They'll try the left side. It's Patterson, and he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. The tackle made by Blake Martinez.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
They'll run on first down. Patterson, and he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
Well, Charles, you think about this defense. This week in preparation, you couldn't hide the fact from them that they're facing a team that's lost 7 in a row. You just wonder if they prepared the same way they normally do.
Yeah, that's a great question, because normally that preparation goes into what you do well on defense. What is the best thing that you do going into a game? But in this case, you might want to take all the tendencies and throw them out the window. I would expect them to throw every trick play in the book right out of the gate in order to try and get something established and get...
Here's another interception, the third of this first quarter. Picked off by Blake Martinez.
And the Giants force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
And they, of course, coming into this one in the midst of a tough losing streak. They did get helped out by the open week last week, and in talking with him, all indications were, Charles, that was a very helpful break.
Yeah, I know a lot of teams, coaches, they hate taking time off in the midst of a losing streak because they think they have to stay on their toes and punch their way out of it. But occasionally, you get that open week, you step back, evaluate what's been going wrong, see what you can put in that can move you forward, and maybe you get a chance to breathe a little bit and kind of start over.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. On first down, Dobbins. And some room to roam now. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
115 yards rushing for him, as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
Now a play fake here on first down. Touchdown! A great effort there with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. Seibert on for the PAT. And it is now 21-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
From his end zone, here comes Agnew. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
Here's 2nd and 10. A handoff running left is ETN.
And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
On 3rd down, Lawrence.
Had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Right back to Dobbins on 1st. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
On a jet sweep, here comes Tony.
It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it.
And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Josh Allen in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down.
On is the punter Scott here as he gets this one away.
A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And this, you'd hate to say that a drive in the first half must end in points, but you're down 21-0. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked off by Aaron Robinson.
And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
They go play action here on 1st down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think we can all understand what they're thinking right now. They take over the ball in field goal range after the turnover, so they've got that in their hip pocket. But they've got to go for the end zone and turn this into bigger points. Their thinking is a touchdown is really what they should get from starting here. Getting 3 points at the end of this drive, that would feel disappointing.
To throw again on second down. Jones finds his tight end Ingram. And they'll get this down to the 10. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Jones now on 1st and 10. Open man right side is Ingram. Touchdown Giants. Evan Ingram, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Giants are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Extra point hugged the upright a bit, but he gets it to go. And that makes the score 28-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. From his end zone, here comes Agnew. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And last time, 1-play interception, so this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
X3, 218, get it.
On 2nd and 9, Lawrence. And this one into the hands of DJ Shark. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Good yardage there on 1st down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
Hey, Mike's 47. Mike's 45.
From just shy of midfield, Lawrence. And now here's another interception. Picked up by James Bradbury. And the Giants are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
Well, based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Rashawn Jenkins picks it up. And his crew will take over with the football at the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's a give to Etienne. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
He'll drop this one off with Etienne. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. What a nice job they did getting to him quickly.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Xavier McKinney. And the Giants are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it. But it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. The drive will commence with a run by J.K. Dobbins. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Off the play fake. Jones. That'll be caught. It's Toney. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Kadarius Toney as the first half is winding down. And the Giants will extend their lead here just before halftime. Here's Seibert now to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. From his end zone, here comes Agnew. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he... He's marked down officially at the 21. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And we'll see what they opt to do with just 14 seconds remaining until intermission. And he'll let this one go deep for Chark. And boy, another ill-advised throw there as that will wind up incomplete.
They've had multiple opportunities on offense and still haven't scored any points. Felt like they wanted to loosen things up, throw it downfield, and see if maybe they could get a big play and a quick strike.
And he'll let this one go deep for Chark. And this will be caught at the 30. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done? I'm not sure that they have illusions right now of, okay, we're going to score 8 times in a row and we're going to be terrific. But to get one, that was huge for them. That has to feel much better right now.
And you do have, we're still in the first half. You do have the entire second half. There's something about that goose egg that just looked bad on that board, but now they've broken.
They've broken through. Can they maintain the pace? We'll see as we go along.
So we come upon halftime here with the visiting Giants out on top. As we send you a couple hours south of here to Orlando, that's where we check in with the coach and our EA Sports halftime report. From his end zone, here comes Agnew. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. and now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot, pretty unlikely, but you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half.
Second and 9 now from the 21.
Let's go. Ready?
Now Lawrence.
And now here's another interception. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. The first half did not go their way, and that's not going to help matters at all. An interception here on the opening drive of the third quarter.
Obviously not what they were striving to accomplish. But you know who's really upset on their team? The defense. Already trailing, they're going to be counted on to try and hold that score at least where it is.
They'll run on first down. Dobbins, and just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Now Dobbins again on second down.
And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, the so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that one or two guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
Well, you and I both know all the coaches that we've dealt with and come in contact with. They'd love to get their hands on those unnamed sources, wouldn't they? But they know that that's not possible, so I think they've got to go in there and make sure that this isn't...
Rush coming, and he's taken down. The corner blitz gets there as he goes down for a loss of 7. Here's J.K. Scott now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. On 2nd and 9, Lawrence. That is caught. It's Williams. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
Well, they certainly haven't been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
Throwing on 2nd and 8, Lawrence. He's going to look deep down the field. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the third quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened. They're looking for answers both on the sidelines and in the huddle looking at each other.
Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Here's Logan Cook now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this punt sails over the sideline. And the spot, it looks to be right at the 25-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Now Dobbins again on second down.
He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jones. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
35 yards on the return. Picked up some good blocks as well. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. Very good starting field position for the Jaguars offense as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line.
They'll try the left side with Etienne.
And he's got some space here. And he's got this down to the 35.
44 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
Here's Etienne.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And now you have to wonder, partner, at what point in time do they forget the running game? It's been a struggle so far in this one. I would think they'd have to start throwing it a little bit more.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
And now they'll throw it with Lawrence.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And the Giants are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. With that interception, he just set a record that nobody ever wants to set, and that's the most picks ever in an NFL game. 8.
The last time we saw 7, 2001, right?
Yeah.
It's Ty Detmer. He's with the Lions at that time. To get to 8, are we sure he knows what color jerseys his team's wearing in this one?
I don't know. It has not been good. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere.
He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
2nd and 10.
Looking to throw. Jones. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
The Giants on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 10. Back to throw. Jones. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A big play that time through the air. 38 yards. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Jones. Over the middle, he's got his tight end Ingram. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Jones. He targets Ingram for another grab. And the Giants are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle made at the 10-yard line.
Well, he does have 1 touchdown in the game already, and while this one won't go for 6, it's enough to get him 1st and goal. But you and I both know he's going to be a little upset he didn't cross the goal line for a 2nd time in this one.
Might want the ball here on the next play. And he will take it all in for a Giant touchdown. J.K. Dobbins, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Giants add on to their lead, and they appear poised to break this long losing streak. Extra point by Seibert, up and good, and that will extend this big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. From his end zone, here comes Agnew. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And you hate to see this for them, but they're looking at yet another loss to begin this season. Things really going from bad to worse as they trail here starting this drive 1st and 10 in the 4th quarter. 75 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
They'll run. It's Etienne. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
At the 43-yard line. Pilot, 64, weak. Seven's the mic. You can't block me. You can't block me.
And they'll run here with Etienne. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's a loss of 8 yards there to bring up 3rd.
Break. Exit, exit. Hey, they're scared.
Now Lawrence. He'll find Etienne out of the backfield. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
So the drive takes him into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Now Lawrence to throw. And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete. Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
And to throw again is Lawrence. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Xavier
McKinney. And the Giants are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50.
The utter domination here just continues. This defense, I don't know what more we can say all around about their performance.
Well, it certainly feels in this game like maybe they're facing a Canadian defense. 12 guys on the field. It feels like there's an extra on every snap because they have really struggled to make headway through the air.
On first down, Dobbins. And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Choose the mic.
Now Dobbins again on 2nd down.
And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Watch the twist, watch the twist. 44.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. And Jones will hit the deck here, and he is able to pick up the first down.
All right, I don't want to get too poetic here where they talk about, the eyes being the windows of the soul. You know what else the eyes do? They see the open spaces on a field, and those eyes carry your legs to those spots, and that's what happened on that play. He saw an opening and went and got it.
Well, he really hasn't ran the ball all game. Fourth quarter here, need a big play, able to pick it up. So whatever the eyes saw and created, it worked. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Giants, it's a win that was long overdue as they move to 1-6 now on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Big D to take on the Cowboys. Meanwhile, for Jacksonville, changes could be in the air as they fall to 0-8 now on the year. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.